Good morning, my name is Josh from CyclonesOZ, and here is your detailed weather forecast update for Sunday, the 13th of July, 2025. Still a lot to get through in these forecast updates. Multiple cold fronts still expected across the southeast and the southwest of the nation over the next couple of weeks. We're also looking at some colder temperatures throughout the nation's interior and over in towards southeastern Queensland, where a few showers are expected to pile up into the southeast corner of the state by around Friday or Saturday next weekend. So we're going to take a look at that as well. All the details on these weather events, plus more coming up in today's weather forecast. If you are brand new to the channel, please do consider subscribing. But let's get stuck straight into things this morning with a low pressure system moving south of the Great Australian Bight and is expected to barrel in towards Tasmania later this afternoon and this evening. This is a typical weather system that we see at this time of the year, and also the weather system style that we're going to be seeing over the next 10 or 11 days or so, until we get some much bigger weather systems coming through in the later part of the 2-week forecast period after about July 20th. But this weather system here looking very stock standard for this time of the year. But don't be fooled, these can pack a bit of a punch, and they certainly will for Tasmania, especially in terms of wind speeds and snowfall accumulations expected over the next 36 hours or so. So what's happening right now? We've got this low pressure system south of the Great Australian Bight. It doesn't look like anything too special here, but it's got a big prefrontal rain band beginning to develop on its eastern side. There is some heavier falls in that as well, and we're expecting that to collide up against the Tasmanian coastline later this afternoon into this evening at around 4 or 5 o'clock tonight. The leading edge of the weather system as well will get itself up into the western half of Victoria, where we'll be seeing showers developing from about 2 o'clock across the western half of Victoria, accompanied by some strong winds here and there, and then rainfall developing along the southwest coast through about 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And we'll likely see falls between 5 to 15 millimetres onto the coastal areas and between 2 to 5 millimetres further inland. Melbourne looking at up to about 2 or 3 millimetres of rainfall as this weather system makes its way through. Rainfall will continue to pile in for the west coast of Tasmania through tonight. They'll tend to snowfall after about 8 or 9 o'clock tonight and above about 1,200 metres. The snowfall line will then fall to about 600 or 700 metres through the early morning hours of tomorrow morning. Snowfall expected to then begin extending up into the Snowy Mountains through Victoria and New South Wales, where some strong winds are already developing. Blizzard conditions are a possibility tonight into early tomorrow morning through those regions as well. And as you can see, snowfall falling right down into some of the lower elevations across Tasmania. In fact, as low as about 600 or 700 metres through parts of Tasmania into the early hours of tomorrow morning as the showers behind this weather system begin to sweep up from the southwest. Again, nothing serious, nothing crazy is expected from this weather system here. We are still looking at some half-decent rainfall accumulations, and you can see numbers over the next 48 hours are looking quite healthy across the west coast of Tasmania. Even for this time of the year, 50 to 60 millimetres is a possibility, and on top of that, about 20 to 30 centimetres of snow to some of the higher elevations, or up to about 20 centimetres of snow on the higher elevations, and between 3 to 8 centimetres expected across the high peaks of New South Wales and Victoria, but the majority of the snowfall will fall above about 15 or 1600 metres for those locations. We're not expecting low-lying snowfall accumulations through Victoria and New South Wales tonight, even though it will be quite cold, and blizzard conditions will certainly be quite widespread and extending through the mountainous regions of New South Wales and Victoria. Then after that, another weather system coming through Monday night into Tuesday morning. This time a low pressure system riding quite far north into South Australia's Eyre Peninsula, where a good 25 millimetres is definitely a possibility early Tuesday morning. The low pressure system then falling apart. A few showers still expected through Tuesday morning and into Tuesday afternoon through the western half of New South Wales, extending into the northeastern corner of the state through Tuesday afternoon and evening, and then clearing through Tuesday night into early Wednesday morning. Wednesday morning, we're actually going to be waking up to a relatively clear picture through the southeast corner of the nation, bar Tasmania. Temperatures could definitely get quite cold across some of the higher elevations, though, on Wednesday morning. In fact, we are expecting quite a widespread swathe of temperatures well below zero through the high country of New South Wales, and then down into just the general lower elevations of New South Wales as well. Definitely a very cold start expected on Wednesday morning, and those temperatures will extend north into Queensland southeast as well. A few showers still expected on Wednesday. Melbourne looking at about 5 or 6 millimetres on Wednesday into Thursday as a weak cold front comes through on Wednesday night into Thursday morning. Again, another clear start on Friday morning. A few showers then beginning to develop up into the northeast of New South Wales and into the southeast of Queensland from a bit of a southeasterly flow. This is a whole separate weather event, and I'll get to that in just a few moments, so bear with me here. We're mainly focusing on the winter weather, so if I may draw your focus back down into the southeast corner of the nation again. Showers then piping up again on Saturday and Sunday as a weak cold front moves through. Another cold front coming through on Sunday and Monday, the 20th to the 21st. This one will be that big one. We're expecting some big weather systems to come through after about the 20th of July. So as you can see, this low pressure system first off expected expected to impact the southwest corner of WA, and I'll get to that in the later part of this forecast update. But this one here, then moving into the Great Australian Bight, upscaling quite dramatically. It's expected to be a massive weather system, both in terms of raw impact and the expanse of the raw impacts that we're expecting across southeastern Australia, but also in terms of wind speeds and rainfall. We're definitely expecting some pretty significant impacts from this weather system here. So strong low pressure system moving through. We're still not 100% sure of the nitty-gritty details here, but it's going to drag in a whole lot of rainfall through South Australia, parts of Victoria, parts of New South Wales, and especially for Tasmania as well. Another cold front coming through behind it on the 22nd and the 23rd. This is kind of a classic pattern where you have that strong cold front coming up from the west, and that kind of just sets things in motion for a bit of winter weather. And then you get that system that races up from the southwest, and that generally drags that polar air vortex behind it. And that's where we get those cold temperatures, snowfall, rainfall, wind speeds, the whole 9 miles of the winter weather. And this is kind of that dual front weather system that's coming through, where we have that initial kind of slower, weaker hit before that kind of punch in the face a couple of days later. And that comes through on the 22nd or the 23rd of July by the looks of things. Very widespread snowfall accumulations expected through Tasmania, Victoria, New South Wales, and the Capital Territory as well. Snowfall will then ease off, and it looks like the weather scene actually becomes a lot calmer in the wake of this system here, so expect some cold nights into the later part of July as well. I would just like to say that this needs to be taken with a heavy pinch of salt. We have been looking at this for the past 7 or 8 days on the forecast modelling, so big time weather coming through after about the 20th of July is more or less set in stone across the southeast of Australia. We've been calling for this for quite a while, but the nitty-gritty details, how much rainfall certain places are going to be seeing, how much snowfall we're expecting across the higher peaks, the extent of the wind speeds that we're expecting across the southeast of the nation, those are still details that need to be ironed out. The kind of bigger picture here is that we are expecting a very healthy rainfall accumulation dump across much of southeastern Australia. We could be looking at up to 100 millimetres through parts of Tasmania, Victoria, New South Wales, and widespread falls between 50 to 75 millimetres through coastal parts of South Australia, Victoria, and even across in towards New South Wales as well. Some good rainfall accumulation is definitely expected. Snowfall also expected to be quite widespread as well, and when I say widespread, I mean heavy accumulations onto the higher peaks, but also some lighter accumulations down as far low as about 700 or 800 metres through Victoria, and then down to about 900 metres through New South Wales. Widespread snow is definitely expected from this weather system here, especially the second front that comes through. Like I said, that kind of slap in the face that we get afterwards. Wind speed is also no doubt going to be quite strong with a weather system like this. Probably the lesser of the impact, to be honest, that we're expecting. Strong winds expected across the high peaks, of course, and also for the west coast of Tasmania. Winds could be gusting well in excess of 110 kilometres an hour. But at this point in time, we're not 110% sure of the nitty-gritty details, the finer details that are really going to make the forecast quite comprehensive here, and we'll have that information for you by around Wednesday or Thursday in the coming week. I'm talking about raw specifics here, so daily temperatures, rainfall numbers that we're expecting that are kind of rock solid, wind speeds and snowfall accumulations. We've got the broader picture understanding of this weather system, but we're not 100% sure of the nitty-gritty details just yet. That'll do it for southeastern Australia. I'll get up in towards southeastern Queensland in just a second, but whilst we're still shivering through winter weather part of the forecast, let's head over towards southwestern WA. We had a weak cold front blow through Friday night into Saturday morning, and that's left about 25 millimetres of rainfall in my rain gauge, and falls up to 50 millimetres have been reported as quite widespread across the southwest corner of the state as well. So good rainfall indeed. A few showers still going in for the south coastal regions between Albany across towards Esperance and Cape Arid. It looks like that rainfall will continue to ease off throughout the remainder of today, but we're expecting a few showers to pipe up again later on this afternoon and this evening across parts of the southwest. Maybe a very weak cold front approaching the southwest capes with a bit of drizzly cold rainfall coming through later tonight into early tomorrow morning. A few thunderstorms also possible here and there, but nothing in the way of crazy stuff is expected. Strong winds definitely not expected from this weather system here, but definitely a bit of unpleasant weather coming through tonight and a bit of gloomy weather to start off your working week tomorrow. Rainfall should clear off through the afternoon hours of tomorrow, and then through Tuesday and Wednesday we're expecting some much dry conditions through the Perth metro area. A few showers still lingering here and there for the southwest capes, which could make their way up to the lower west through Wednesday morning, but for the most part next week looking a little bit dry compared to what we have been going through over the past couple of weeks across the southwest of WA. A strong cold front coming through on Friday, which could give the southwest capes a little bit of a hit in terms of wind speeds and rainfall, but that's unlikely to make it up in a significant capacity towards Perth. And then that strong weather system, the first of many that's going to come through across this more active period of winter weather after about the 20th of July, coming through on Saturday and Sunday. So next weekend definitely looks like it might be a bit of a washout here and there. Cold temperatures, strong winds, heavy rainfall possible here and there through Sunday morning and into Sunday night, and then showers coming through Sunday and into Monday across the southwest corners of Western Australia. Interestingly enough, the forecast forecast models are suggesting that it's going to be cold enough for snowfall accumulations as well. Definitely some snow on the higher peaks through the Stirling Ranges and possibly even the Paronga ups are possible Sunday night into Monday morning. And I can actually say that with a high degree of certainty. So if you're really serious about going down and seeing some snow, Sunday night, Monday morning, Bluff Knoll looks like a really good time to go and see it. And it's a very high chance of occurring as well if this cold front forecast does maintain, which it's very likely to do so, especially considering the congruency we've seen between the forecast models over the last couple of weeks. For the southeast corner of Australia, Sunday night into Monday morning, I'm giving it maybe about a 60 or 70% chance at this point in time for snowfall accumulations onto the high peaks of Bluff Knoll. And if it doesn't happen Sunday night into Monday morning, expecting some snowfall Monday night as well into the backside of the system here. Again, snowfall very likely to occur on the 21st of July across the Bluff Knoll area and through parts of the Paronga ups as well. Another strong cold front coming through on the 24th / the 25th of July, and then another one coming through behind it. Case in point, southern Australia looking at some pretty violent winter weather after about the 20th of July. Multiple strong cold fronts expected for not only the southeast but also the southwest. Much needed rainfall also coming through as a result of that. We had this on yesterday's forecast modelling, and whilst it has been back down a little bit, the European forecast is now a little bit less aggressive with how much rainfall is coming through. We're still looking at triple figure rainfall accumulations throughout the next 2 weeks of much needed rainfall through the lower west and into the south coastal and the southwest forecast districts, extending right across towards Esperance and Israelite Bay. Rainfall accumulations up to 100 millimetres a possibility, and total and peak falls up to 200 millimetres possible between Walpole across towards Albany. Good falls also possible out into the Weird Belt regions as well, between 25 to 50 millimetres expected out to the state forest line, and then falls between 75 to about 125 millimetres expected through the Great Dividing Range. So again, some great rainfall accumulations through the agricultural regions as well. About the only places that aren't going to get 25 millimetres are those south of Jerramungup and Ravensthorpe, in just this little pocket here outside of Rema Bay and Hopetown. They're a little bit more protected than other parts of the Weird Belt, but they're the only places that are really catching my eye right now to not get more than about 20 or 25 millimetres over the next 14 days. So again, some very healthy rainfall accumulations on the forecast. Absolutely fantastic to see, especially at this time of the year. And as promised, southeast Queensland, a little bit of weather coming through as we get out towards this coming weekend. Friday and Saturday, we're expecting rainfall to begin developing from a bit of an onshore flow that's going to get itself set up offshore from southeast Queensland. And a few showers and storms could be funneled ashore through Friday morning and into Friday night, and then into early Saturday morning as well. So what's going to be happening here? Well, we're going to see a surface trough set itself up through Thursday night into Friday morning, funneling those showers through from funneling moisture down from the northern parts of Queensland, tending to showers and thunderstorms at times through Friday morning and into Friday afternoon through the southeast and the south central parts of the state. Showers could get heavy at times, especially along the coastline. The Sunshine Coast looks like it could get a few good drops of rainfall through Friday afternoon and evening, and then showers easing off through Saturday and into Sunday as well. Now, this is not something that I'd give any airtime if other forecast models weren't suggesting the exact same thing, and the GFS is also calling for a very similar pattern to happen on the weather. Of course, a lot less rainfall is expected from the GFS forecast modelling here, but the case in point here is that we are expecting some kind of low-pressure trough to get itself set up across the southeast corner of Queensland, and good rainfall accumulations through Thursday and Friday are a possibility as such. This is a look at 3-day rainfall accumulations between Thursday and Saturday inclusive, so the 17th, 18th and 19th of July, and falls between 10 to 25 millimetres, quite widespread across the southeast of the state, and even falls up to 50 millimetres possible here and there outside of Stanthorpe and Wallumbilla, and then along the northeast coast of New South Wales we could be seeing some much better rainfall accumulations there. This is definitely going to be kind of a play-it-by-ear type forecast. I think we're going to have to wait till about Tuesday or Wednesday to see exactly what rainfall's coming through for what locations and exactly how much we can expect for certain areas. But it definitely looks like some good rainfall accumulations are a possibility now in the forecast modelling, and it is now time to start paying attention and start thinking that Thursday and Friday are both going to be quite wet days across the southeast corner of Queensland. Of course, we're not talking about wet season rainfall here. We're not talking about a couple of 100 millimetres coming through in a 6-hour period. So flooding and severe thunderstorm risk is absolutely nil at this point in time. But it is unusual weather to be seeing at this time of the year across southeast Queensland, although it might be welcome for some, especially with the colder temperatures. This rainfall and the humidity associated with it will keep things a little bit more milder across the southeast corner of Queensland as this rainfall comes through. But I know a lot of people over in southeast Queensland, they do not want another drop of this rainfall coming through. And I actually started to comment yesterday, people don't want me reporting on the Queensland weather for the next 5 or 6 months. I hope I've taken it in the faith that it was intended. That means that we're not wanting significant weather that makes the cut for these videos and to be happening across Queensland for the next 5 or 6 months. I hope that was the intention of the comment. But yeah, we really don't want to be reporting on significant severe weather conditions across Queensland, southeast or far north over the next couple of months, because this definitely is our dry season right now. And we want to be making the most of the dry season, getting the soils dry, getting the humidity down, and getting some sunny days and some sunny weather into to Queensland's population as well. It is known as the Sunshine State after all, and there's been a big lack of sunshine in the previous wet season. It was just dominated by rainfall. But on that note, that's going to have to be where I leave it for this morning's forecast update. I do hope you've enjoyed it or found it informative, preferably both. And if you have, then please do consider leaving a like and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The support lately has been much appreciated. A special shout out, of course, to the channel sponsors. Their names are on screen right now. And again, I could not run the show without them. So, of course, their support is also much appreciated. If you do want to get your name mentioned at this part of the forecast update, then please do click the join button down below. It's a great way to support the channel. It's the only financial donation incentive that I offer on this channel. I don't do Patreon or anything like that, so all the supporters, all the channel sponsors are very much appreciated, that's for sure. That is going to be all from me today. I'll catch you on the next storm. Goodbye.